Good morning, friends. I am Shabina. Today's topic is nature formation and identification of human bones. So, first of all, we have to know what is bone. So, bone is any kind of rigid organ that constitutes part of our skeletal system, and bone does a lot of functions. Bone, it protects the various organs of our body, like the ribs. It protects our lungs and heart. It provides structure and support for the body. So the bones, they come in a variety of shapes and sizes. If you can see at the skeleton, you can see that there are various types of bone, like the short bones, long bones, flat bones, sesamoid bones, and irregular bones. Long bones are, what are the long bones? So long bones are the bones which constituted the shaft, that is the diaphysis, and the epiphysis. What is epiphysis? Epiphysis are the rounded ends of the bones, and the diaphysis are the shaft, the main part of the bone. Then comes the short bones. The short bones are the cube shaped bones, and they are the wrist bones and the ankle bones are mainly the short bones. Flat bones, they are generally curved and thin bones, like the bones of the sternum. Next one is the sesamoid bone, like the patella. And the bones which is not came under any of the group, it came under irregular bones, like the bone of the pelvis, the bone of the spine, etc. Okay. Then comes the formation of bones. What are the ways by which bones can be formed? So the formation of bone is called ossification, and this ossification process, this occurs during fetal development by two different types of processes. One is the intramembranous ossification, another one is endochondral ossification. So, intramembranous ossification, it involves formation of bone from connective tissue, like the bones, the formation of flat bones of the skull. It occurs through intramembranous ossification. And the endochondral ossification, it involves the formation of bone from cartilage. The process involves the development of ossification center, calcification, trabeculae formation, and the development of peristomia. The endochondral ossification, it usually occurs in long bones, means the development of bones occur from the cartilage. So it begins with points in the cartilage called primary ossification centers. What happens? Few bones, they ossify after birth also. Few bones began their primary ossification after birth, and this primary ossification which occur after birth, this is responsible for the formation of diaphysis of long bones. And the secondary ossification which occurs after birth, it is generally responsible for the formation of epiphysis of long bones. When you can see the picture of long bones, it is clear that the main shaft of the bone, that is the diaphysis, and the rounded head of the bone is the epiphysis. Intramembranous ossification, it follows the four steps. First of all, the mesenchymal cells group into clusters, then differentiated into osteoblasts, and the ossification centers form. Then the secreted osteoid traps osteoblasts, which then become osteocytes. Next one is the trabecular matrix and peristomia form. Then complex bone develops superficial to the trabecular bone, and crowded blood vessels condense into red bone marrow. Then the what are the ways by which one can identify whether the bones which we discover from any type of crime scene is of human origin or of animal origin. How can one say? So there are various features which we have to look at in order to identify whether it is of human origin or not. So when you discover a human skull, for example, any kind of skull, and you don't know whether it is a human skull or not, then check for the check for the chin to identify a human skull, because most of the animals do not possess even a chin. Then look for the eyes above the nose in humans, because humans have the orbits to the front and it is above the nose. But in case of animals, orbits are generally situated to the side and it's behind the nose. Then then another step is check for the smaller canines, because humans have smaller canines when compared with other animals like apes. Then if you have the pelvis, then look for the dish-shaped pelvis in human remains. Other animals typically have longer pelvises that are more blade-shaped. Then check for spine. If you have the vertebral column, if you have the whole skeleton, then check for spine, because human spine has three curves. When you look at it, it looks like S-shaped. If it is of human, because humans have to walk upright, so that S-shaped spine helps him or her in order to walk straight. Then if you find any kind of upper limbs, then notice smaller upper limbs in humans. If you got the lower limb and if you got the long bones like femur, check to see if the femur is the longest bone in the body, because if it is of human, if the bone is of human, then it is obviously the longest one. But if it is of other animals, then it is not much longer. Okay, thank you. It's all about the bone. It's all about the nature, formation, and the identification of human bones. People, if you like the video, then do share, comment, and subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.